The journey begins from Miami, Florida, all the way to Chicago, Illinois, where Route 66 begins. We're gonna make a few stops in between, but the main purpose of this trip is to get to mile zero of the Mother Road. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Well, here we are. A new adventure begins. All gassed up. It's almost like a new beginning, right? Of sorts, because this is the first long adventure with Pelicruiser. And I'm wearing my Lewis and Clark shirt because this is almost of the same caliber. We're gonna be driving cross country. Not like Lewis and Clark, but like the first motorists. We're doing the Mother Road, Route 66. Let's get underway. We stopped by my mom's to say our goodbyes. We'll be on the road for over a month on this leg of the trip. Check out how Pelicruiser turns on a dime. It is not perfect by any means, but I love the ProMaster's maneuverability. Oh, she almost got run over taking pictures. Off we go. This is the Blue Lagoon area of Miami, this fresh body of water between Miami International Airport and the Flagami neighborhood. Also, wedged between those two is the Miami Airport Hilton Hotel, where I used to play with a band in the early 90s, Club Mystique, and the Waterford Business District, where I also used to work during most of the 2000s. This is, of course, the infamous State Route 836, the Dolphin Expressway, and the equally notorious 826, the Palmetto Expressway. Here we take I-75 north at its southern terminus because our first stop is going to be in Fort Myers for yet another RV upgrade. Once again, like we did a couple of weeks ago, we are taking US 27 north, which makes for a more leisurely drive. We're kind of rediscovering our roots as RVers here. Here we are, South Bay, Florida, and the levee on the right is Lake Okeechobee. Let's take a break at John Stretch Park. In previous occasions we've parked on the right, which is truck parking, but I think this time around we're small enough that we can park at one of the picnic areas. Well, it is not always a gourmet meal. Sometimes it is just a TV dinner on the side of the road, and we really like this chicken tikka masala. Not on the side of the road. This is actually a very nice park, John Stretch Park, where we can stretch our legs. So tropical here in South Florida. Here we're going to make a left onto State Route 80 because we're going to the west coast of the peninsula. I don't know what happened to the audio here, but this is what I call coffee in motion. Eventually, we made it to the Fort Myers area, where we're meeting with Daryl, who owns Wacko Products, inventor of the RV AC silencer. Let's see what he can do with our Coleman Mac here.
Non-ducted ACs are more of a challenge to begin with, but every bit helps, even if it is just a couple of decibels. By the way, isn't this like the fanciest RV resort? I think most people here are owners though.
Isn't this like the nicest RV resort? Anyway, we're here, our first stop of the trip, because we gotta do something about this AC of ours. You know, it's like a jet engine. And Daryl is here to help. Oh man, this is beautiful.
Pelicruiser is beautiful too.
This is the cover right here. Now, whether you have the manual controls on it or electronic controls, the kit will work for both. But what you have to look for is this cover. It's 19 by 20 and this style narrow filter with the dumps on the end.
Daryl and I did a lengthy video that I'm going to publish separately when this kit comes to market in the near future. Meanwhile, I'll put a link in the description so you can see all the products they offer.
So it is a do-it-yourself kit. It does take some time to do it. A little bit of patience.
Yeah.
Again, it's tedious. It's not hard. It's just tedious, right? We showed some tips on how to do this and do it correctly. So,
All right, well, there you
go.
go.
Thank you much, Robert.
Now we drive up to Pelicamp. I thought we were gonna be able to make it to Pelicamp today, but it is getting late, so we might stop just 70 miles short of the finish line.
Well, we made it to Walmart in Chiefland, and we're only a little over an hour from Pelicamp, an hour 15 minutes according to the GPS. I don't see any no overnight signs, so I think this is what we're gonna call it, and tomorrow morning we'll go the rest of the way. I'm tired. I don't feel like driving at night, so we'll see. It is 5:45 a.m., but we couldn't sleep anymore. Let's just say it's not the quietest Walmart we've ever stayed at. So, yeah, we're driving to Pelicamp. Should be an hour and 15 minutes, and we'll make it in time for the premiere this morning. It is Sunday. Well, this is the part that I'm not gonna say I dislike the most, but I wish it was more automatic. Let's just put it that way. And there's always, condensation on the windshield. This all stays nicely tucked away up here, so as soon as we can, we're leaving.
Yeah, it is still pre-dawn. It is dark out here. Good for stargazing. A hint of daylight and hints of sunrise colors. We'll be at Pelicamp soon. Driving towards the Gulf, there's Nowhere Grill, one of the local watering holes. We are almost there. Here we are. Let me open up the gate. Next, let me turn on the well, close the gate. I'm gonna release the pressure, get rid of all that water in the tank so we can start fresh with new water from our well. Pelicamp Springs. Here we have Minitini, the original. And Minitini IV, which will not be with us much longer. In fact, they are coming to pick it up tomorrow.
Well, good morning. We've made it to Pelicamp once again, and you can tell summer is in the air. It's getting a little bit overgrown here, so I'm gonna take out that lawnmower and see if we can, cut some of this. I think it is pretty amazing. The minute summer hits, we get all this starting to grow back, and I'm sure by the time we return from Route 66, it's gonna be even more. It's a beautiful morning here. Everything seems to be okay. We have some spider webs here and there, but nothing else. I'm gonna begin here with the lawnmower and then work my way to the back. As I said, beautiful morning at Pelicamp. Well, before we continue with that lawnmower, let's make some breakfast. It's time for another RV cooking show. And, simple. Keep it simple, bacon and eggs. It's temperament.
Yeah, I really like this stove, but sometimes it takes several tries for it to light up. It is going to be a simple breakfast of bacon and eggs. We have a small galley, but I love it. I love the L shape of it. Bon appetit! By the way, summer in Florida kind of begins in April, which is the time when we're filming this, so I'm really looking forward to start driving north, where it is still cool.
Well, this is it. Minitini IV. It is with a little bit of a heavy heart that we're about to say goodbye to it. She certainly was a good ship. Yeah, we put it back together the way we found it, Even put the TV back where it was originally. But this one was a good ship. Probably our favorite of all the Minitini. So it's hot. It is such a hot, bright day here in Florida. Let me tell you, this was probably, as I said, probably our favorite. This is the one that took us to Alaska. And so many great memories, so many great adventures we've had. But all good things come to an end. It is time to say goodbye. Tomorrow morning, they're coming to pick it up. And for now, the adventure is going to be with the Peli Cruiser, but there will be another trailer in our future. You can count on that. Oh, I gotta take this. I'm taking this as a memento, and maybe we'll put it on Mini 5 whenever that comes. This one was kind of tight. I know it is not the right size, but for now, we're gonna put it on the original Minitini 1. Just Minitini, I mean. Yeah, it lives on. And we're getting a brand new one for the Peli Cruiser. We're going there the day after tomorrow to pick it up.
And just like that, Minitini IV was taken back to the mothership. I hope she goes on many more adventures with a new owner. As I said, this was probably my favorite, the one that we had the longest, besides the original, that is. The one that went to Alaska and survived the journey to the Arctic. It is bittersweet to see it go. Now for real, let's begin this adventure. Before we continue, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Slinky Stove, the storable solution. Coming to you from the future here, since I've had my Slinky Stove for a while now. One of the first ones to come off the assembly line actually, and you can see it's well broken in. It all began one cool fall afternoon in the Florida Keys, where Eddie, the inventor of Slinky Stove, introduced me to an early prototype. It has 3 levels, depending whether you want to cook or just have a campfire. And the 3 concentric rings maximize the airflow for a nearly smokeless experience. Yeah, as you can tell, this one has been with me cross-country already. And that's a raging smokeless fire right there. From the beginning of time, a flame has brought us together. Its warmth is an experience meant to be shared. With Slinky Stove, now you can bring that flame wherever you are.
Elevate the outdoor experience. Get Slinky Stove by clicking the link in the description or scan the QR code you see on the screen. Pelicamp is all buttoned up. I think we're ready for the great adventure. And we're still learning, right? This is like a motorhome experiment for us, kind of. And we've learned that Pelicruiser here is gonna be relinquished to 99% of the time blacktop. We almost got stuck even in our property here, so it's gonna be either blacktop or very well maintained, unpaved roads during dry conditions. I guess even with these beefier tires that I got, we're just too heavy, you know. Maybe we're like rear heavy and there's not enough traction in the front. We're gonna weigh it at some point within the next couple of days. And we really do need an RV wash. I washed it yesterday and you couldn't tell. I mean, this is so dusty here at Pelicamp. Anyway, we're gonna stop by our friend Greg and Angela's Casita RV Live, this is his YouTube channel. And he made me a tire cover, and then we're up to Georgia. Georgia is on my mind. We've got about 2.5 hours drive to Yulee, Florida.
Oh no, what happened here?
Well, you know what happens to us professional YouTubers? Sometimes we forget to hit record.
We've all done it.
And here we are just north of Jacksonville, Florida with our friend Greg and Angela with Casita RV Live. And you guys printed this. There was video of us putting it on, but...
Yeah, Angela makes these. She's very talented.
Yeah, Angela, actually, you guys have an Etsy shop, right? What's
Yes.
it called? What's it called?
Simple Joy by Angela.
Yeah, let's give him a plug. Simple Joy by Angela. We'll put a link somewhere. And thank you, man. Thank you, guys.
No, anytime.
It's and it's always great to stop by and catch up. You know.
Yep.
It's been way too long.
But
So you guys check it out. Now, if you see us, speeding down the road, just honk. Wave and say hello. Oh yeah. So nice to park Pelicruiser at all these places. Public subs are totally a thing, so that's what we're having. And we are leaving the land of Publix here very soon, in a couple of days. So. Ooh, that looks delicious. Look at that. Off to Tifton, Georgia. Georgia is definitely on my mind today.
We're not very far from the Florida-Georgia state line. Pelicruiser leaving the so-called Sunshine State indefinitely. We don't really know when it will return. And just like that, we leave the Sunshine State for the Peach State. Yeah, we might fly back and forth periodically, but I think Pelicruiser is gonna stay out west for a while.
Cafe in motion, baby. This is how we do it.
I believe that may be the world's largest peanut, and that's where we're going. I've always wanted to come here for their sausages, but I didn't know they were Harvest Host too.
Well, went into the store, didn't film all that much, but we bought a couple of products. We bought some sausages and this cheese and sausage dip. It's a little spicy. Oh my God, what an outstanding product! And you know, it's the one thing with this Harvest Host. If you go to the website, everything is grayed out. So I thought, like, you know, maybe they're like booked solid. There's no one else. One more rig here. And I don't think they're really doing the, and that's what I say when I say sometimes that Harvest Host can be hit or miss. This is a great place, but you wouldn't know it. They're super chill. I mean, you just come in, you sign the registry, but even though they have a reservation system on the Harvest Host website, you don't really have to use it. You know, you can just stay. Carol's Sausage. I've always wanted to come here. You know, you see the signs on the road, almost from the Florida border. Anyway, it might be a little noisy tonight here with I-75 right next to us, but I think we're gonna sleep well. I mean, we have the air conditioner on. We should be able to run it all night long if necessary, but I think by sunset, you know, it's already starting to cool down. I would say probably it's 80 degrees right now, and it's going to go into the 60s. We'll be fine. But anyway, once again, I want to thank Greg and Angela for the spare tire cover. Very cool. Now it's me. Now it's us. You can recognize us on the road, and yeah, I love that sign. Well, tomorrow we make it to Ackworth, but that'll probably be mostly family time. So I'll see you tomorrow, and we have to cook that sausage. I didn't bring the grill, but we're gonna do it on the skillet. It's gonna be fine.
It is morning in southern Georgia, and the sun rises over I-75. Today we're crossing Atlanta.
Well, good morning. Went back into the store, and they have all kinds of cool stuff there. And I found this seasoning, Cubano. I'll let you know how it is. Now I'm gonna go and check out that giant peanut. It's the largest peanut in the world, I believe. All right, let's go check out that giant peanut, which, by the way, this one of the better Harvest Hosts. I really enjoy this day. The only thing, yeah, I-75 is kind of loud, but other than that, it's a great temptation to come in here and empty that store out. So many cool things. Anyway, the world's largest peanut, it's up ahead. And this is the Georgia Peanut RV Park. I mean, it's a pretty nice, no frills RV park. Again, you also have I-75 right next to you, so it may not be the quietest at night. Actually, I had a pretty hard time recording voiceover this morning in the rig. I had to wait between semi-trucks, and some of them are really loud. Well, there it is. It's the world's largest peanut.
We're not even on Route 66 yet, and we're already seeing gigantic roadside attractions.
Here it is from the other side. All right, many things. I have ambitious plans for today. Let me tell you. I want to get a car wash. I want to weigh the rig. I want to stop by Buc-ee's because we have that gift card that Cindo gave us, and we have to pick up an Amazon package and a Best Buy. We're never gonna make it to Papitos.
I wanted to stop by Ellis Brothers as well to get some pecans, but time is really getting away from us today. Let's go get some breakfast.
Made it to Buc-ee's. I'm gonna see if I can with a gift card. Definitely a destination, Buc-ee's. Got a brisket sandwich and some beaver chips.
All these rolling hills can only mean one thing. We're getting close to Atlanta. By the way, I did manage to stop at one of those Catskills, and while we're not too overweight, we are rear heavy. So at some point, we're gonna have to shift some of that weight to the front of the rig to balance it out. Maybe the batteries. And I still want to put an extra freshwater tank in the front. Anyway, enjoy the Atlanta crossing. It's always fun. If not fun, definitely an adventure. We're going to get off the interstate in Marietta. I want to stop by an Amazon locker and then Best Buy. The Amazon locker is in this gas station. Here we have another quirky roadside oddity called the Big Chicken, originally built in 1963. Came to Best Buy to pick up a new 360 camera and off we go. Now we're ready to spend some quality time with family. This is a very nice area, very quiet. Nice houses too. I believe that's Red Top Mountain coming up ahead. And here we're going to take I-75 north towards Chattanooga. These first views of the Appalachians always make me happy.
Good morning, and this is probably the last Buc-ee's we're gonna see in a while, and I still have like $20 on that gift card, so let's get some supplies, some much needed stuff. And today we're going into Tennessee and possibly Kentucky. Hey buddy, what's up?
Not very busy in here, which is a pleasant surprise. Nope, it's not only about the brisket sandwiches and souvenirs. They also have needed essentials like bottled water and paper towels. And we've made it to Tennessee. Next, we're going to cross Chattanooga. I love this part of the drive. When traffic is not too bad, which it usually is, this is kind of a bottleneck. But with the Tennessee River to our right and Lookout Mountain to our left, it's quite scenic. Here, the interstate dips down into Georgia for a couple of miles before entering Tennessee again. Getting some rain now as we're about to cross the Tennessee River. And there's a very nice welcome center on this island coming up here.
You know what? Rain doesn't stop. And this is a very nice rest area. This is one that I usually, like to walk down to the lake. It's really the Tennessee River. Very nice Tennessee welcome center here. And now we're about to tackle our first challenge, our first real challenge, our first real mountain with Pelicruiser here. We're going up to Montego, which is it's really the Cumberland Plateau, and it's not that high in elevation. It's just a steady, climb, like for 6 miles or so. And old Kia used to overheat all the time. So let's see how Pelicruiser does.
Success! We've made it to the top. Now the downhill is not that bad. In about an hour, we'll be arriving in Nashville. There it is, the unmistakable Nashville skyline. Music City. Today we're going to be staying at a winery, the Harvest Host, the first of many during this first leg of the trip.
Tight fit, but we made it work. Now maybe we should go have some wine, huh?
It is called Sumner Crest Winery, and it seems very nice.
Oh, here we are. They have like this, cheese and fruit trays, and and a wine flight that is coming very soon.
We'll call it dinner.
We just had a delicious, charcuterie stuff. The chicken salad actually is really good. And let's see what the story with this old car is. Well, it's an old Chevy truck.
That's it for today. Tomorrow the journey continues. Today will be a short drive, only about half an hour towards Bowling Green. Well, yes, as the sign indicates, we are now in Kentucky. We're going to be staying at the Bowling Green KOA for our first campground stop. We need to do laundry, and it hasn't been necessarily sunny, so we're going to charge our massive battery bank, so we can do 2 more Harvest Host nights on our way to Chicago. And would you look at this weather? At least we got one of the first sites close to the laundry facility.
Well, here we are. This is the Bowling Green KOA in Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky. And we got a water and electric sites only just because all we needed to be was close to the laundry facility. By the way, beautiful KOA. There's a lake back there. The folks are super nice. We needed to do laundry. And this was the site closest to the laundry facility, and we don't really need full hookups. Thankfully, we have a huge gray water tank. So here we are. I'm using this blue technology water filter. I'll tell you about it. And what we're gonna do tomorrow, we're gonna visit hopefully we can visit the Corvette museum, and maybe we'll go to the Abraham Lincoln birthplace. Those kind of things, and then we're going to the mothership to look at a prototype. So we're gonna do 2 nights in a row after this, at least 2 nights in a row using Harvest Hosts. Something we don't usually do.
Up until now, we haven't had the battery or tank capacity to do that comfortably. Right now, our only weak point is the freshwater tank, only 26 gallons. Let's walk around this KOA.
Actually, very nice KOA, better than expected actually. Well, I had no expectations, good or bad, but yeah. One of these days I'm gonna stay at one of these covered wagons. I don't think they have a bathroom though. Maybe the cabins would be better. What do you guys think? But we have our own RV, so we don't really need any of that. Whew. Really hard. I did turn off the water, didn't I?
Yeah, at some point I have to replace that city water intake.
Not the greatest thing in the world.
Let's fill up our tiny freshwater tank.
Let's turn on the water first.
We don't really need the water pressure regulator for this, but it's already there.
All right, there's one thing to do here, one thing left to do, and we have to dump our tanks. It's gonna be an epic dump, if I may say so. Yeah, this is the new thing. I'm gonna put it up here by the rear view mirror, and it'll be recording in all directions, which is pretty cool. Now let's look for that dump station, and then today is actually the first day that we're gonna do stuff, right? Because right now we've been kind of, we visited family, we went by Pelicamp, we bought some sausages and stuff, but we haven't really visited any tourist attractions. And today is the day that we start doing that on our way to the mothership. All right, let's look for that dump station.
Just a block away from the KOA, we have the Aviation Heritage Park and Museum, so we might as well check it out.
Well, here we are. This is called Aviation Heritage Park. The museum doesn't open for another hour, but let's at least see all the airplanes they have here. That does look like Marine One. Yep, the President of the United States.
According to the sign, Colonel Arthur McCreary Reynolds, born here in Bowling Green, transported President Ronald Reagan and Vice President Bush in a helicopter just like this one. Let's see the other aircraft, each of them honoring a local hero. Here we have the Shooting Star, the trainer version of the F-80, the first operational jet fighter.
Actually, it says that on the plaque, this one is on loan from this museum, the t-shirt I'm wearing, from the National Museum of the Air Force. That's a great museum. It doesn't look very comfortable in there. Let's see the cockpit. Very cool.
Yeah, as much as I love some of the massive museums we've been to, I also enjoy these smaller local displays. The pride of all these communities in their local history.
This was very cool park here. We're not gonna be able to see the museum, but now, after we see that airplane back there, we're going to what's arguably the most famous attraction here in Bowling Green. You'll see. Cool chopper right there, very cool helicopter. F-105, it's undergoing restoration at the moment.
105 is alive.
All right, let's continue.
Well, here we are at the National Corvette Museum. There's some kind of special event going on here today.
We're selling raffle tickets right there.
Hey, who knows? We might even win a Corvette. Can you flat tow a Corvette? Now that is the question. Now here's one of 300 built in the first year. I gotta say, this is not my favorite Corvette look. I love the 50s, but not in the Corvette, not that much. I'm more of a 70s or 90s. Yeah, I know, 90s. But this is the Corvette I knew when I was in high school. This 2009 is certainly a beauty. It is such an iconic car, the Corvette. Look at this 2019. I had to do a double take. Here's a 1961. Not bad looking, but I still prefer the 70s look. It's a beautiful car, and I really like the mid-century decor to really put you in the mood. This one is known as the Entombed Corvette. The owner sealed it in a brick-and-mortar tomb because his wife didn't enjoy riding in it. This is kind of one of my favorite ones, 1973. Let me tell you, we have some pretty unique vehicles here. Some famous vehicles too. I always thought fuel injection was a thing of the 80s or even 90s, but I guess not. 1968 Astro 2. That's actually a really cool design. I can't believe they call it the ugly duckling. I guess beauty is indeed in the eye of the beholden, because I kind of like it. Here's a full-scale clay model. It is a pretty massive museum. On February 12, 2014, a sinkhole opened beneath the museum, swallowing 8 Corvettes, this being one of them. What's left of it? Let's move into the Sky Dome, where the sinkhole happened, and let's see some famous Corvettes. This one is very unique, the only 1983 year model in existence. And this is the site of the 2014 sinkhole. Okay, I take back what I said about 1970s design. This one is kind of ugly. This one, on the other hand. And here we have some famous vets. This one belonging to Jerry Lewis. Here's Roy Orbison's. Oh, check it out! Jim Lovell's, the astronaut. Houston, we've had a problem, Jim Lovell. Very cool. Ooh, the clip from Star Trek, the movie. Definitely a pop culture icon. This is a beauty, and the right-hand drive model.
Oh, wait till I show you what I got. Check it out. Our Trent and Echo, side by side. Check it out. We've got our first Route 66 t-shirt. Well, the Corvette Museum, very cool. Yeah, we had to come here. It was one of those bucket list kind of things, right? We've driven through Bowling Green so many times. Bowling Green. And now, since at least at the beginning of Route 66, Abraham Lincoln, it's gonna be kind of the theme, you know. We're even going to a place where the Route 66 and the Lincoln Highway, they kind of merge together. We're gonna be in the land of Lincoln, Illinois for a couple of days. Well, let's go to the man's birthplace first and the boyhood home on our way to our, I think it's the third harvest host of this trip, which happens to be a distillery because we are in Kentucky, so distillery kind of makes sense, right?
There's a big Corvette party here happening today, and we weren't invited. Actually, I have no idea what's going on. I always thought this area of Kentucky is beautiful even from the interstate. From the first time I saw it, during that first RV road trip we did back in 2011. And here we have yet another Buc-ee's along the way, in Smith's Grove, so let's top off the tank. Oh, it is massive. and a little chaotic, as most new Buckies are. $2.37 for gas. We continue, cruising along I-65 towards Louisville, although unfortunately we're not gonna be able to stop this time around. Louisville, by the way, great town. Here we get off the interstate to see what it really looks like. Beautiful rolling hills. Here we are, Abraham Lincoln's birthplace, National Historic Park. And they do have RV, bus, and trailer dedicated parking, so we'll park there.
Well, we made it to Abraham Lincoln's birthplace, and no, I don't think a Peli Cruiser has ever been so off level, but this is what it is, you know. This is RV parking here. We probably could have fit in a regular spot, but when we don't have to, it's better to do it, you know. Follow the rules.
They have several displays about the history of the Lincolns and how they got here. Their original family Bible from 1799. Let's go see the monument. But first, the Nancy Lincoln Inn, built in 1928 and named after Lincoln's mother. There's the monument preserving the original log cabin. In typical national park fashion, there is a raised relief map or representation, although in this case it may not be all that necessary. Here's more information about the inn, which was originally frowned upon by the National Park Service as being an unacceptable commercialization of the site. Before going up to the monument, let's check out the spring first. Sinking Spring, the water source for the cabin. It was called Sinking Spring because the water disappeared into the earth.
Well, that is very cool. Do not drink the water.
Here's more information about the spring. And this is such a beautiful area.
Alright, let's go up to the monument. Kind of feels like the Lincoln Memorial in Washington.
Such a beautiful and peaceful place. The birds are chirping. Anyway, let's step inside. As it is usually the case, I question myself how much of what we're seeing is actually original, authentic, but I guess that's not as important as remembering where the man was born, his humble origins, and how much he was able to accomplish in his lifetime. They do keep it pretty dark in here. It was here that on February 12, 1809, Abraham Lincoln was born. Pretty cool construction, from a time people would build their own homes with primitive tools and their own bare hands.
Alright, let's go on a little bit of a hike. There's a famous oak tree, or the former location of a famous oak tree.
It is called the Boundary Oak Trail.
Just another walk in the woods. Oh, I should have brought my hiking shoes. think we're approaching the famous location of the Boundary Oak. And I mean, it's been a pleasant, short walk in the woods. Birds are chirping, but let's face it, like there's no big reward at the end, you know. It's just, you know, we need to put in our steps. Looks like we did the trail backwards, but anyway, here's the interpretive sign about the Boundary Oak, which was the last living link to Abraham Lincoln. All right, let's go into town. Let's go see his boyhood home, and then we're going to our harvest host, which in this case happens to be a distillery.
Now there's a photo shoot and a group photo.
Well, now that we saw where Lincoln was born, now we're gonna see where he grew up. His boyhood home is just 15 minutes away. There was a cool pamphlet here they gave us. Of course, at that time, nothing really moved faster than a horse, so it would have taken a lot longer. Let's go. Let's check that out.
Here we are, Abraham Lincoln's boyhood home.
Well, when you do it like this, we do kind of fit in a single parking space.
Here, the Lincolns lived from 1811 to 1816. When the family moved to Indiana, so not a very long time. Still, they have a very nice visitor center here with lots of information, some artifacts. Lincoln's first memories were from this home here by Knob Creek. And here we have a raised relief map. Let's go see the cabin itself. Incredible that a whole family could live in such tight quarters. And I know many people around the world still do, but yeah, not a whole lot of room here.
Very cool to see. Humble beginnings, for sure. I was really tempted to do that trail, and you get to see a, panoramic view of this whole area. But it takes about 4 hours or 3 hours, he said. And yeah, we don't have the time today. I believe we have to be at the it's not a brewery, it's a distillery. At the distillery by 5 p.m. and it is almost 3. I mean, it's 15 minutes away, but
There's always someone in a bigger hurry than you are. Or is it a sign of getting old? All of a sudden, everybody seems to be in a hurry. These black buildings are warehouses where bourbon is aged, and many of them are painted black. This can only mean one thing. We're arriving in Bardstown, bourbon capital of the world. We've been here before, so I'm not even gonna try to park and explore. We just have about an hour to kill, so I figured we'd drive around a little bit. It's a very picturesque town. Here's the old 1892 courthouse, the center of town. Nowadays, the visitor center. Let's go back around, because I also wanted to find out the feasibility of coming here with the RV on a future date and maybe find parking. And while we may have to spend some time looking and walk a couple of blocks, it is probably doable, at least on a day like today. I really don't know how much busier it gets. Alright, let's go to our harvest host. There's a lot of traffic here in Bardstown. Down here, they have a Civil War museum that we're going to visit one of these days, and there are plenty of things to see in this area. My old Kentucky home, and a plethora of distilleries. This is the epicenter of the Bourbon Trail here. The bourbon capital of the world, as I said. Here we are, log still. But I think we were supposed to check in at the deliveries entrance. Let's go back.
To the right, go all the way to the end of the road and take another right, and you'll go in behind the amphitheater and stuff, and then you'll come out on another gate. The dam's up there, you'll see that off on your left.
Well, here we are in Log Still Distillery. Very organized, even with numbers. I mean, we're way back here. And as I said, it looks like another successful Harvest Host stay here. We're a little far away from the tasting room, but we're still gonna, walk up there and patronize the business. And right now it's not even all that hot, so we may not even need the AC overnight. Yeah, we're not gonna have hookups for a few nights now. Let's see, tomorrow we're at Elkhart, at the Motorhome Hall of Fame, and then 2 or 3 nights at the McCormick Center in Chicago, so we'll see how that goes. Before we sample the local spirits, let me show you all this from a higher perspective. Beautiful area of Kentucky here, and pretty mountainous too. Okay, don't laugh. I'm from Florida. Everything looks like a mountain to me. looks like we're going to be the only ones here tonight. Alright, let's go check it out.
It is quite a hike to get your bourbon.
It is a beautiful property with this lake back here. And they do offer tours, but that's not what we're going to do. Not today.
But still distillery. Got that old fashioned.
Very cool. We had a fun and knowledgeable bartender. Outdoor seating. Anyway, good night.
This was a nice quiet stay here at the Log Still Distillery. I forgot. Anyway, we are in Bourbon country, so I thought it would be appropriate to stay at a distillery. Now we're going to Indiana. We got a long drive today, about 5 hours. 5 hours to the RV Motorhome Hall of Fame. Actually, it's not motorhome. The MH stands for Manufactured Housing. But everybody calls it the motorhome. But look at that big pit there. Anyway, let's look for a dumpster because we have some trash. There's gotta be a dumpster somewhere around here.
Here we go, the dumpster. Gorgeous country out here. Everything is so clean, so perfectly green. New Haven here, not a bad looking town either. And we're back on I-65. Louisville is coming up next. Louisville is such a great town. We must spend some time here next time. Besides, my cousin Juan lives here. But we've been here before, several times. And we do have an appointment tomorrow at the mothership. So sometimes you just have to put in the miles, and today is one of those days. That, as we cross the Ohio River, we're leaving the Commonwealth of Kentucky for the land of the Hoosiers, the crossroads of America, also known as Indiana. And yes, we're taking the expensive toll bridge, but time is of the essence. Next up, Indianapolis. We've never really been there, we just drove through downtown once years ago, and that's what we're gonna do today again. If I can find a way to stop and park, I will, but I doubt we're gonna do much. After an uneventful drive, which is really code for boring, here we are. Let's drive around a little bit, get the vibe of the city, and see if we like exploring a little more. So far, pretty good looking. Here we have some condos. Here we have some office buildings. Some people hanging out on the left here. As I mentioned earlier, there's always someone in much more of a hurry than you are, and sometimes they clip your mirror. Wanna see it in slow-mo? Luckily, it was a $16 part, easy to replace, but yeah. Anyway, let's drive around a little more, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Granted, it is Sunday. Maybe it is livelier on a weekday. Maybe there's an area where people go hang out. More research shall go into this. Okay, here we go. This is the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. It is quite impressive. There is supposed to be an observation deck at the top. It seems this is as lively as it gets in this part of town. It is an impressive monument. People come here to get their pictures taken. Here we even have a quinceañera. Too bad there seems to be some construction going on. Indianapolis is also the state capital, so let's see if we can see the Capitol building. Here on the right we have the old Paramount Pictures Publix Theater, built in 1927. Very impressive. And there we have the Capitol building. I think this is as close as we're gonna get today. We'll be coming back to Indiana later this year, hopefully, so maybe we can visit the city, like really visit and explore. It may be another great American city. Indianapolis is also home to the Indy 500. That's something we may do at some point as well. Never really been into car racing, but never been to one either, so you never know. There seems to be a cool revolving restaurant on top of the Hyatt. They call it the Eagle's Nest. The Indianapolis Arts Garden seems to be a thing as well. Alright, let's get out of here, but first, let's see this impressive building here on the left. It is the Scottish Rite Cathedral, built between 1927 and 1929. Oh, those late roaring 20s, huh? So there. Now we have a list of places and points of interest to visit in Indianapolis, so we must return. Here we have plenty of parking, so let's stop and assess the damage.
Well, here we go. We've had a hit and run casualty here. Luckily, it was only that. We're gonna have to order one and get it replaced.
From Indianapolis, we're going to take US 31 towards Kokomo. US 31 actually bypasses Kokomo, but I've always wanted to see it, see what it looks like, and we're kind of ahead of schedule today, so we can afford a quick detour. Besides, we have to stop for lunch somewhere. I'm just gonna park here for a few minutes and take a break.
Well, sometimes it is a gourmet meal, sometimes you just open a can of soup. In the Florida Keys, there's a place called Kokomo. No, it's actually in northern Indiana. Let's check it out. Let's just drive through town. Kokomo, Indiana. We're still 2 hours away from Elkhart.
Let's check out Kokomo, Indiana. Kokomo? Actually nicer than I expected. eternity later, we are arriving in Elkhart, Indiana, RV capital of the world, and we're going to stay at the RV Hall of Fame, which happens to be a harvest host. Let's try to get some water and dump our tanks. Well, it turns out the water is turned off, but we can still use the dump station, so let's do that.
Well, yeah, came with the mothership to look at a trailer, actually. Possible Mini 5, or it may have a different name, but I can't show it to you. Like they say, I could show you, but then I would have to kill you, right? It's still a prototype, and I think we're gonna love it, and you might too. Well, now we're going to Chicago because that's the beginning of Route 66, right? And that's like this whole trip is about. So let's go to Chicago, to the McCormick Center, which is where we will park.
Actually, since this video was filmed, Winnebago has already unveiled the Thrive. But as I edit this, I'm still not 100% sure it'll be number 5. When that happens, I promise you'll be the first to know. Now we go to Chicago and begin the great Route 66 adventure, celebrating the 99th anniversary of this iconic road. But that will be on the next video. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road, on the Mother Road.